All right, y'all. Hey, welcome to my live. For those of you who have never met Miss Kel'sea, I have her here. She's going to be just joining me on this live, talking to you today about social media. As a coach in business and also as in marketing, I love to bring on women to connect with, especially fabulous women that I've connected with. Y'all know, as the founder of the Wing community, I definitely feel that we have to constantly be making sure that no matter what we do in business, that we're always bringing in new energy. And Kel'sea was new energy. I'm gonna tell y'all. So just let's get the live started because I want to start off with introductions first and foremost. Y'all know me, but for those of you who are just tuning in, never saw me before ever a day in your life, I'm Allegra, the marketing medulla. And I'm a business coach. I'm a marketing strategist. I'm an entrepreneur of many years. So if you ask me, I probably know. If I don't, I'll pass you on to somebody who do. And that's why I partner up with fabulous individuals like Ms. Kel'sea, who specializes in social media. Now, this is something that people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I need to build my social media following. Oh my God, I need to make money posting. And I'm like, well, let's start with the business plan. But I found out that there are people out there that will coach you without having the business plan. Okay. And so this is what we're going to talk about today on how to get really good at your social media, especially with Miss Kel'sea's experience. So introduce yourself first, Queen. Let us know who you are, and then let's get into this conversation.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Allegra, for having me. Hey, everybody. I'm Kel'sea, the social media consultant, owner of the Social Solutions Agency. I've been in business for 3 years for my social media business, but I've been an entrepreneur since 2016 with my nonprofit, but that's not why we're here today. I'm here to talk about how you guys can utilize social media to not only increase your brand visibility, but to help you generate leads and to increase your income. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to make money. We got to make a living and then some. So, here to give you all the tips and strategies and everything I know about social media.
Facts. And you said a lot in a very simple way. For some people, like, listen, there's a lot of value in what she said because sometimes we start off on social media like it's just a channel where, people can follow you and see what you're doing. They're all up in your business. But when you start your business, your actual business, you have to have some type of strategy or sustainability that helps you measure it. And so tell us a little bit as to some of the struggles that your clients normally go through when they come to you. Like, what are they really struggling with?
Yeah, the main thing I think my clients focus with is I'm not getting any customers. And I'm like, okay, well, who is your target audience? Oh, well, I service any and everybody. That's your problem right there. So I would say the number one issue that I face with my clients is trying to help them find their target audience, but I have to go back and help them figure that part out and then be able to help them create a social media strategy and then create content and then do all these other things to help you get the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's really common nowadays. Tell me a little bit about when you started your business. Like, how long ago was it, and how has the journey been?
Yeah, so I started my business in 2021 September, and it was around the same time I actually started my last real corporate job as a full-time corporate person. And so I left, well, that's a whole nother story, but I left that in June of that following year. And I remember I was like, I left corporate for a reason. I am an entrepreneur by blood. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. My dad inherited the business. So it has been a journey, with anything, it has its ups and its downs, but I would rather be an entrepreneur than work on somebody's clock any day. Because everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur and everybody's not meant to be that 9 to 5er. And I'm not going to kiss nobody's butt for a job that I don't need. I just want it for the money. And I realize, mental health my mental health is at the top of my priority, and I don't want to stay somewhere where I don't feel comfortable at. So it has been a great journey for me. I've been meeting my clients. When I first started my business in September of 2021, I was cold DMing like crazy, cold emailing, reaching out to people. So my first couple of clients came from doing that.
Wait, hold on. Can we talk about this real quick? Because I want to say, just being in a space where your clients are coming and you started out by saying, not getting the right type of retention, right? Like they're not attracting the right buyers, or they're not attracting enough buyers. Now, I heard you say a key word, which I feel like we do have to really give clarity to, that we all start out trying to target everyone, because
Yes.
I believe it comes from a desire to really want to serve. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to want to say, I want to give this to everyone. But the truth is, and you tell me in your experience and how you coach your clients, like the truth is for me, that even if I wanted to serve everyone, it would be a disservice to me. I can't. There's no physical, like mathematical way that I could literally be able to do that, because of,
Yeah.
the world is just too big. And I think when we really can, we can tune into who we really can serve, then it reduces the overwhelm so we can focus, right? Like, what do you think about that? I mean,
Yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent, right? I think in the beginning, at least that first year of your business, you can try to work with any and everybody, but you're going to learn from experience that any and everybody is not your client when it comes to you pricing your services. And then, because for me, I was targeting hairstylists, I was targeting real estate agents, I was targeting any and lawyers, everybody. And I started off as a virtual assistant offering all of these services. So that's another thing I didn't niche down on. And it wasn't until maybe January or February of 2022 when I was like, yeah, I don't feel like doing all this stuff anymore. Or I don't want to work with that type of client anymore. So it really, I think, with experience, you will know when who is your ideal customer. And honestly, I figured it out. I know who has my money, but I still have a passion for helping those who don't have the money, right? So, like you said, it goes back to that serving, that need of wanting to help other people, has definitely been a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? So I've tried to find resources for those who can't afford me just yet, so that I provided some value to them, so they got to come back and say, you know what, Kel'sea did give me, let me try her out. One lady said in one of her testimonials to me, I forgot exactly how she said it, but basically I give more than I take. I think she said she deposits more than she withdraws, is how she said it. And I was like, that's a neat way of saying that. So I definitely do that a lot. And I want if I was to leave it today, I want people to know that I gave y'all my all.
so
I did
I,
what I needed to do.
I want to say kudos to the givers. But as much as we have givers, there are takers. And I do believe because we run businesses, and I know you probably feel the same way, there's got to be a boundary there. This is not my personal life. Like, y'all don't get me full time in my personal life in general. So don't think just because you bought a service that I'm just full time for you, period. Like, it don't work like that. So how do you give people, like, how do you have that boundary then? Because if you now look at it like you want to serve everyone, but you have to niche down to who really is for you, we make it sound so simple. But I want you to dig in, because I think you've been in business long enough to understand that, and you're independent in it. So you understand that it's more than just, oh, I'm just going to choose these people to work with. Like, you have to go through, and I like how you said it. My phone was ringing. You have to go through a lot of the no's and a lot of the challenges of people doing some shady stuff sometimes, or trying to get over, right? Because I think that sometimes in business we don't give enough light to that, because it's like those are the hard times where you're like, I can't believe this is happening. Can you share some of those challenges? Like, how do you have boundaries around the value you offer?
Boundaries is, I think was my
Wait, I think
word.
you're muted.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Maybe it's me. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me get out and get back in. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Is it better? Okay. Look at the thumbs up. But oh my gosh, what was your question? So boundaries. To be honest, that is something that I'm still working through, right? Because on the personal side and on the business side, that is something that I'm still working through. And so people, the way that I guess I'm getting around that is, to one aspect of it is clients are communicating. They're kind of like telling me, I'm not ready at this point and I'm not going to push them. Can you still hear me, Allegra? Uh-oh. Hey, y'all.
Yes.
What is... Okay, good. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just
Okay.
adjusting my technology.
Okay, I was gonna say because I can't see you, but okay. You want me to keep going? I don't know if you got muted or not. Okay. We're good to go? Okay, sorry. All right. So yeah, for me, boundaries is something I'm still working on, honestly. But one thing that I want to be able to communicate to people when it comes to social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of these platforms are free. And when business owners are just starting out, they are in the business, as with any other business owner, are in the business to make money. But particularly for these newer entrepreneurs, every dollar counts. So what I want to communicate to a lot of entrepreneurs, when you are looking to outsource your social media, your return on investment is going to look different. And so be able to understand and look at the metrics as to, okay, what was I at last year on my followers? Where am I at now? Where am I at on my customers? How many have I been able to acquire? Where was my sales at last year and where am I at now? And so I think for me, I'm just trying to get better with, okay, yeah. I'm just trying to get better with communicating those things. And I have client agreements in place so that clients can be able to understand what's tolerated and what's not.
Okay. So sorry, I got cut off, y'all. Listen, excuse the glitches, but y'all know using two devices can be a little iffy. So I heard what you were starting off with, telling like how you help alleviate some of the challenges. And I think you were gearing towards the clients. Like, well, I want to hear more about your challenges though, because the truth is that what before I got like really weird with technology, what I was really trying to dig into really is some of the journey that new entrepreneurs have, sometimes even entrepreneurs that restart, right? Because you can be niching, you can be having an issue niching down, because niching down means that you have to go through a lot of the uncomfortable things, like getting on enough calls to find out who you really want to work with.
Yes.
Have you had any issues like where clients have said to you, um, I don't like getting on phone calls, or, you know, social media isn't my thing? Have you ever had that? Like,
I had a lady today where she was like, social media, what did she say? She said social media is, I forgot, but she said social media wasn't for her. She knew she needed it. Everybody says, I think a lot of people say that. I know I need social media, but it's just not for me. Getting on phone calls, I haven't heard that particularly. I think one of the boundaries, or one of the things that I'm having to learn how to work through, I have a client that's been with me for a minute and she is so busy. Like, we need to shoot, we were supposed to shoot content at least 6 times and we've only met twice. So I'm trying to learn how to communicate effectively to say, this is what we need to do. This is the time that we need to get it done. Because it's an issue, right? So I guess that's kind of a boundary. And I don't know if you heard me say this part too. I have created a client services agreement so they know what I have in place, what to do and what not to do. And it starts off with, my office hours ends at 5 o'clock. Do not text me, or if you do, you're not going to get a response back until the next day. And this is my business number and this is my personal number. So
Okay, wait. I want to get into that because I have a story. Tell me what you think about this. I feel like some people really struggle with this, and that's why I want to be very clear on this channel because I'm going to share this to our WIN community. And shout out to Women into Networking WIN. I'm actually over here drinking royally nourished cold pressed juices, y'all. She came as a vendor for the conference, and just like girl, it's so freaking good. Like, you know how you get some stuff and it's like green juice and it's like green juice.
Yeah.
This is good green juice, and so I want to applaud her for just being so intentional because I could tell she really cares about how it tastes, how people experiences it. But she sold out, I think, like both days at the conference. We weren't even supposed to. But I want to say that because we empower other women, like I connected with Kel'sea on Facebook, y'all. So this is how I feel like sometimes we have to be very intentional about who we want to connect with. And I think that all of this kind of surrounds what we say about our avatar, right? Because our clients are really a reflection of who we are. So when you're like, I had to put boundaries in place, like I've noticed that a lot of times, and tell me what you think, because this is like a very transparent channel. So if you know that you put on your client contract, my office hours ends at 5 o'clock, but you answer your phone at 6, you have literally told them that contract is null and void.
Yep. And I've had to learn that. And so that's why I did put that in place. I didn't do that anymore after that. But I did have that in place because I think what kind of made me a little bit apprehensive about doing it and enforcing it was a client that I actually just followed with. Oh, is this public or is this just to your community?
Yeah, this is public, girl. We're talking to a live audience. They're all here. We telling all our business today.
Right. Well, I'm gonna keep it cute. Basically,
Demure.
Yes. Basically, they felt like they could have access to me at any time, and they were questioning why I had times in place for my office hours. And I'm like,
the nerve.
Right. I'm like, you got a time. I mean, you may not have that time, and you got a family. It's just me. I need time to decompress and do some other things too. So you brought up a good point that I may have to even put in my questionnaire, my intake, not even my intake form, my consultation form, mapping out who I want to work with. And if this is not you, like, don't even feel like.
Yes. And this is all building. And that's why I'm glad you're so transparent. And that's really what attracted me to you. And that's why I love when we talk about connection and networking, y'all, we're talking about really being in alignment with people who are like, have that same type of energy of where you're going or where you want to be, period. Yeah. And I just really feel like, I mean, we're all growing. And when you were telling me, even in the beginning, like, girl, this is what I want to do. So let me tell y'all about Kel'sea real quick, okay? Before we get into some more of who she is and what she would do in certain situations. I love picking y'all brains here. But I was in a group on Facebook called Black Women Friendships. And Kel'sea, I believe that's the group you posted in because I'm usually in that one or one other one.
I don't even remember at this point.
Well, there ain't many groups I'm in. I can tell you there's 3 that you could have probably found me in. And the post that I saw was so simple. It was just a call to action. And it was saying, I'm looking for, I think it was women, but you were talking about, community really. Yeah, and I'm all for that, right? So that attracted the energy. And so when I got into the DMs with you, you immediately responded and started talking to me like one-on-one. Now, here's one thing I will say that I think is a real missing element in social media. And tell me from your expertise, because we got a lot of social media experts. We have a lot of people that do a lot of things. But when it comes down to social media, I feel like, we can spread the love because there's so many avenues in there that you need to know about. And I've met people that do one little part of social media. That's it. So I think it's really important to kind of talk about like that intentionality of why you reach out in the DMs, right? Because we literally will automate something, but it will come from someone else's idea. Like, I saw this automation in someone else's DM, so I'm going to automate it in mine. But what do you feel about that? Is like that modeling process, does it work really well? Or do you feel like a more organic approach has been more effective nowadays?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. One, I don't have many chats set up on my messenger, I guess for a reason, for two reasons. One, because it's not friendly on the personal side of Facebook, so I don't have it there. But I do get a lot of leads from Facebook, so I guess it's a good thing that it's not there. But you can personalize these chat bots to sound like you, so you don't sound so automated. But I think what really helped us connect too, I think you kind of opened up the olive branch for voice recording. So that helped us connect even more so. But I started off with a post. I didn't just cold DM you, right? You commented and raised your hand. You raised your hand by commenting on the post. Like I said in the beginning, I started my business off with cold DMing, and it can work. You know, there is a method to it. There's a science, there's a mathematics to it. Not everybody's going to respond. But when you put up a post calling out who you're trying to work with or network with or whatever it is that you're doing, when you're posting on social media and you're looking for leads or people to connect with, you need to be able to call out what you're looking for and be very specific with it. And then when people are responding, which tip here, I would probably post right about now because people are probably about 3 or 4 o'clock. Then people are going to start commenting around 5, and then they should be home by about 6. And so I'm going to send them a friend request because at this point, my personal Facebook page is my business page. So everybody's getting friended if it fits. But I send them a friend request before I send them a DM because it may go to their request and they may not see it. So, but again, I'm not code DMing like I used to anymore. I'm opening up with a post, and then that leaves the open way for me to send them a DM. I hope that answers your question, but yeah.
Yeah, it does. I think, the truth is that I think DMing is a part of a system, a process that was already created through natural occurrence, right? Like if I think about even a sales pitch, it's really part of a sales conversation.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
You just don't have anyone responding to you, but you're really answering their questions that they would normally ask you in a sales conversation.
And to your point, I'm sorry, I just thought
Go
about something.
ahead. Oh, because you just did a sales pitch yesterday. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, I did. We will. We definitely will. I was testing out something, so I knew this process works about DMing and what to say, but I was testing out a new script, and I think when I first created that post, it was on a Wednesday, I think, and sending those messages. I was crafting out my script. I was watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos. Okay, what do I need to say? How do I need to say it so it can still sound like me, right?
Yeah.
So I found out what worked and what didn't work, but that came with process. I think I talked to like over 200 people over a period of 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, 10 to 20 people said, okay, yes, I'm interested. Some still left me on red. And then what you also have to do is create a follow-up process because people have busy lives. So you should still follow up with them and set a time on your calendar and spreadsheets and all of that to have a process for that as well.
So, since this is a process, because clearly it stems bigger than just cold calling in the DMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that honestly is that sounds like that was part of your market research too, to see who bit the bait.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and this is just my truth, because I got a lot of people in my DMs, and I just hire people to look at them and delete what needs to be deleted, and because the truth is, most people that some people want to reach don't have the time to really check the DMs like that. They're more like, hey, give me a phone call. Like,
Yes.
an email would be fine. I'm not
Yes.
even on social media. So how do you help people who mainly want to increase their social media marketing, but that's not just the only component of their marketing? I think that, and this is just tell me your idea about this. I think that social media expands greatly when you already have a marketing campaign, right? So for example, if I have an activity happening like a workshop coming up, and I know that I have events that are happening in the future, right? I can do a pre a social media campaign for it, pre-launch, right, during, and then post. Because every single point of my contact is going to reflect what I'm already doing behind the scenes. I think that sometimes we overcomplicate social media because we're not doing enough in
Yeah.
the business. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so to your point, yes, social media is not the end all be all. The first thing I ask my clients is, what is the big obstacle that you're trying to overcome? What have you already tried, and where do you see yourself next year? What goal are you trying to accomplish? That lets me know what I need to do and if it's attainable, right? But then, okay, so the example you used about an event, most people don't know this, especially if you're a new business owner. Creating your little flyer and posting it up in a group is not going to get people to come to your event. It's pretty, it's nice, but it ain't going to get people to come to your event, right? People need to see your stuff at least 7 times, a minimum. And I've heard even 11 before they decide to buy with you. So not only do you need to put up a social media post, what I would do is create curiosity. Your flyer is telling the date, the time, who it's for, what the price is. It's giving a lot of information. You may get 3 likes of it, and people are going to move on and forget about it. I would probably create a post that says, say I'm putting on an event and it's for women empowerment. I'm going to put that same post that I put up the other day, looking for women who are looking to collaborate and network. And then I'm going to tell them about the event in the DMs, maybe. But after I ask them a couple of questions to find out, and that comes from experience, I always sold too soon. So I say all this to say, in addition to social media, you have different types of social media with different types of social media platforms for different purposes. You need to know who your target audience is, where they're hanging out at on and offline, get their email address and phone number so that you can nurture them. So, I saw that because I always tell people this, especially women. How many times does Fashion Nova blow us up? We
For
get
real.
emails, we get text messages. They calling us all type of names. We see, I don't even see their Instagram posts, to be honest with you. But people need to hear from you more than once and at least 7 times. So if you got an event coming up tomorrow, you posting it up the day before is not going to get people to come. So yes, you need to have a strategy in place that during, and that post, whether it's creating carousels or reels or stories, all of that, in addition to your email marketing and text message marketing, because people, and then retargeting ads, because we may see something on Facebook and then it followed you over to Instagram because they're putting retargeting things in place to keep it on the top of your mind, especially if you actually go to the next step. I'm saying a lot. I'm sorry. A lot of people I feel like a lot of people, and I made that same mistake too. If somebody expressed interest, most people would drop a link and say, "Oh, go register here." But if you got all of these things going on your website, they're gonna get lost, and it's gonna create friction, and then they're gonna log off. But then that's why people have things like emails in place. Oh, you forgot something, and we'll retarget you to come back to go back and finish that purchase. So have a lot of things in place. Text message, email, and social media marketing in place, and have a plan in place to help you reach those people multiple times.
That's good advice. I think it's so important, and I know you have this coaching program that you're taking people through, and this is something that you're going to offer for Black Friday, which I think is amazing because a lot of people don't even see. Here's the thing about social media, and I love what you said when it comes down to that overall perspective and how you're going to use it, and what social media can be used for so many different things now. And so I think that, to what we were talking about earlier, why we do those initial things that we do, I believe that it's just because that's what we're taught to do by who we're taught to do it by. And when I started out my business, I was told how to do business a certain way. That's the way I did it, right? And like maybe I made mistakes, maybe I didn't. Um, I think that getting, through those challenges is really important. To your point, like, I love how you're describing that over time, that you really understood, exactly, who you needed to be targeting. You understood how you needed to present your message over time, because I think that we forget sometimes when we're speaking to our audience in the beginning, and it's kind of what I want to stop picking your brain about, because they need to get into your coaching program to get the rest of all this good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that I was talking to someone today, and this was funny to me, because I'm always asking the question why. Because I believe that we don't dig deep enough. I think that we stay at the surface level of like the answers that we get, and we're like, okay. It's like,
Right.
but dig a little deeper. And someone said, I don't like it when people speak to, well, they didn't say they didn't like it. They said something about pain points, and why don't we speak to pleasure points? And I made a comment about it, and I said, I think that, and this is just what I've gotten from my research. I think that pain points are necessary to adhere to, because a lot of people that need your services are not getting it because they're already happy.
Mm.
Right? Like they either need or want something, right? There's a desire or some change of some kind. So, essentially that's what people call a pain point. But they were saying, why not call it a pleasure point? And I said, potato, potato. The truth is, are you speaking in their tone? And do they understand you? So I think I want you to kind of talk about that in social media, because I think sometimes we really do have the best services out there. I've seen people have amazing services. I'm like, that's a good deal. But to your point, if you're not posting enough and people don't see it enough, then they'll see in your competitors more than you. So they're going to go to your competitor.
Yeah. I don't even think I mean, definitely that. I try to stick to a minimum of 3 posts per week. But it depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to get more followers, then yeah, by all means, if you got the time, post every day.
So let's talk
But
about that too, goal
yeah.
wise.
Yeah, so because a lot of people skip that step, and that's something that if we're speaking about transparency and things that I've had to overcome, that's one thing that I think I neglected to ask a lot of my clients in the beginning. Then I'm starting to learn, to ask that question, not even learn, but to ask that question, because some people may have unrealistic expectations, and they come with this already know what to do type mentality, and if you
Oh
already know
God.
what to do, then why did you hire me, or why did you reach out to me? So, and I think another aspect of it is they don't know what ROI on social media looks like. So because they're not clear, and because I neglected to ask what their goals are, here we are 3 months later, $5,000 later, you feel like you didn't get the results that you were looking for, because one, I didn't ask you, and two, you didn't compare your results. Even though I gave you a analytic report to show you we grew you from this to this. Where were you last year? There was some growth that happened, whether it was income or more followers or more visibility. You didn't just stay where you were. Something happened. So I forgot your initial question, but
No, we
basically,
were we went into goals. We were like, well,
yeah,
let's talk about these irrational goals on social media.
yeah,
And you were saying how you had to really refine how to define their goals, in the beginning of working with someone. And I think you're right about this, and this is why I love this. And we do have to end this live because we've been here for about 33 minutes. I just wanted to get 30 minutes of some good information from Kel'sea. She'll be back, y'all, because I'm going to have her in the wing community.
yeah,
I wanted to do this first live because I wanted to introduce her to you all. Get to know her. Most likely, we're always talking about business in the background, so hopefully we'll be able to share more knowledge and information in the future, maybe on Clubhouse, do some LinkedIn audios.
yeah.
But I want you guys to just flood into her space, see what she has going on for this Black Friday sale. Tell us about this program. Like, what will people be getting from the social media coaching program?
Yeah, so again, a lot of my customers don't know who their target audience is. They don't know where they're hanging out. They don't know what they need to say, all of these things. So in this coaching program, it's going to be a 1 hour and 30-minute session. So 90 minutes where I'm going to help you guys flesh out who your target audience is, find out where they're hanging out, which groups you need to join. What are some things you need to say in your messaging to hit those pain points or pleasure points, whatever, either one, to be able to attract them in. And then I'm going to give you a script so that you can sell them within the next 24 hours.
Okay, so that's pretty effective because a lot of people are gearing towards the holidays. See, my programs are like 90 days. She's telling y'all 90 minutes. That means that you get to get in and get out. Um, I love this effectiveness because I know you've worked with so many companies before. You've honed in on your skill and you've really been able, probably at this point, probably need to just teach somebody else what you do because you know, you're climbing that success ladder. How can people reach out to you to get involved into this coaching program?
Yeah, so if you guys want to send me a message on my Instagram page, is at the social solutions with an S agency, and send me a message with the word Black Friday, and I will send you guys the link if you want to go ahead. It will be on sale starting tomorrow. So we'll do a little pre-launch. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn as Kel'sea Smith, Facebook as Kel'sea M. Smith. But the Social Solutions Agency is where you can follow me and keep up with me. And yeah, we'll talk about the pitch the next time, you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna dig into that pitch. Shout out to Modex Studios where we just had the conference this past weekend. Tasha, the owner, she's absolutely amazing, and I heard that you two got an opportunity to connect.
Yes.
You had a pitch, and we'll talk about that. Actually, they're gonna have to follow you and make sure they tune into the next live because we'll come back and we'll talk about what that journey looks like for you to really step out there because doing a pitch competition is not a it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Okay, you have to really, or what they say, the faint of heart. You have to be bold, sis, to walk out there and to bet on yourself. And no matter what, like we talk about a lot of things, and we talk about things behind the scenes where it's like business is not easy. Y'all quitting y'all 9 to 5 jobs to jump into a roller coaster ride that you're not even ready to put your seatbelt on.
Oof.
So you know, if you want to really get guided, like I did not do this alone. Clearly, we're not doing it alone. We don't suggest you to do that either. Thank you so much, Kel'sea. Appreciate you so much today.
Thank you, Allegra, for having me. I'm excited and connect with you guys as well on and offline.
Awesome. All right, y'all. We will share this live again really, really soon. See y'all until next time. Have an amazing night.
Bye.